How is everybody today? Feeling good? It was nice to see everybody at the little reception last night. Welcome to my garage. Hopefully you're feeling comfortable. They've done a really good job marking everything, but the most important thing, just remember the restrooms are right over there if anybody needs it. But I'm glad to be here this morning and excited to talk with you a little bit about kind of my vision for ObservePoint. So I'm John Pestana, CEO of ObservePoint, but at heart I am a super nerd. So I don't embrace always completely my CEO title. I love playing with product, love being involved in design. I'm also known to be the AV club president here at ObservePoint and programmed all the video walls because I can't help myself. So, but we're super happy to have you here. And Edge is an exciting event. We look forward to every year where we get to put names to or faces to names and everything. So thank you. Well, I will apologize a little to some of the cab members because they got to see some of my presentation yesterday when I was meeting with them. And Kurt, can you turn down my mic just a little bit? Thank you. So a little bit more, please. I'm on mic 6. Thank you. So I want to walk through having you guys understand like where I see ObservePoint going so that you can understand how potentially we fit in with you and your plans too. So I'm going to walk through 4 areas, which is kind of our purpose, the concept of self-service, platform, and ecosystem is kind of some of my driving factors. So where are we going? There's a simple way to explain ObservePoint, and it's not this phrase, even this is pretty simple. It's we tell you what the hell is going on your website, right? People come to you and they're like, what happened here? Why is this not working, or something's wrong, whether it's cookies, whether it's tags, whether it's user experience, whatever's happening. We want to be the very best in the world at understanding anything that can be known about the website by visiting it, right? And that includes obviously pre-prod and things like that too, but by visiting the website, we want to basically collect all that data and put it into a database that you can ask it questions. That's the ultimate goal, which then applies to lots of different things that I'll walk through. I like how Dave Smith, I don't know if you guys know Dave. Dave's actually the CTO here at ObservePoint, and he said this a few months ago, and I really liked it. It's like your website analytics tell you what your users are doing on your website. ObservePoint tells you what your website is doing to your users, right? We're not analytics, like from a web analytics perspective. That gets confused all the time. A lot of people think we're some kind of like tag management or like, no, we're just telling you what's happening there and what your website's doing to your users. This is kind of our current customer breakdown. We have tons of analytics professionals. We have privacy and security as kind of our second biggest group of people. And I know these merge for many of you. You're like, wait, I do all of these things. We have marketing professionals who are using it to try and understand landing pages and emails and things like that. And then we also have a lot of IT and QA people who use the tool. As we become a stronger and stronger platform, I see that all these groups, will grow uniformly across our platform. And I'm really focused on the platform. So we kind of break it up into 3 main areas, which is technology governance, privacy and security compliance, and experience validation. And most anything you can think about a website is going to fall somehow into one of those 3 categories. But I'm focused on building a platform. So currently at the company who leads product and engineering is Dave Smith, who's our CTO. And then I also work on a daily basis alongside Dave on trying to build a scalable, secure, fast, and powerful platform for you guys. And this is actually a really important thing that we are thinking about the product from the standpoint of how do we make sure that our platform can support things that we haven't even thought of. I like to use the example of like BlackBerry versus iPhone. BlackBerry was like, no, people only want to message and email, and they can only do these certain things. Where iPhone was so powerful because they built a real platform that you can also, for some reason, play Candy Crush. Maybe that's not very important, but it's expandable. The other important thing is that we're very reliable and scalable for you. We want to make sure we have world-class infrastructure that we're always working. This is something that I believe is very important, which is that I want to make sure that we are self-service, meaning you can do anything without having to talk to somebody. And the key in that is you don't have to talk to somebody. We will always have people available to help you, but one of my biggest pet peeves when I was running Omniture was that we had these admin consoles that were only for our internal people. Then they were like the special people that you had to call if you wanted to even literally create a new report suite or just do these different things. And I'm like, I don't know why you have to call another human to then have them interact with the computer. Why don't we just take that person out if that's what is available? Which doesn't mean that we don't have people that are going to be there to help guide you, to help you. They might even do something for you, but it needs to be both. I want that speed. So I want so that if you're on a Saturday night at 8 p.m. and you need whatever it is you need, I want the platform to be able to support you right that second if that's what you choose to do. The other thing that's really important is right now the way that our system works, we have audits that you create. I want to get more powerful monitoring so that there's a little bit more of a concept that it's always on, because if somebody has a problem, they don't want to not know about it for 6 months, right? And so we need to make sure that the systems be very, very effective at knowing when things are happening, how often something should be tracked. You still will have full controls over any of this, but I think it's important that we notify you of your most important issues as fast as possible. And then also that our results itself right now, like many of you know, you can run an audit right now, and depending on that size of that audit, it even could potentially take a few days. But there's no reason that we shouldn't be bringing in that data as fast as possible and letting you react to that data even the moment after the very first page is scanned, and instantaneously. I do believe that the system needs to be easy to use. This does not mean it shouldn't be powerful, right? Sometimes I think many people will build an easy system, and that what they really meant was a dumb system. And I think that we need to make sure that our system is very powerful, but that you're spending more time consuming that information than spending all this time to set it up. If any of you have used our privacy part of our product where you can import the consent categories from OneTrust, that's now easy. We want to keep making everything easier, but also still powerful. The other thing that I feel like is ObservePoint needs to have more opinions about how we help present and organize the data. Even helping you guys know what you really should be scanning, and just having stronger opinions about what is good policies and governance and things like that. But then helping prioritize that data so that the most important information just bubbles up to the top more for you guys instantly without having to dig and dig and dig and look for things. We need to make sure that we're providing you guys with administrative controls. Now, I realize that a lot of these things I'm covering, we already do most of all this stuff in some way. It's just where I feel like we need to make even more progress in having even we just did examples. We just released all the usage reporting, which was, I think, were really powerful and great. But we need to continue to create better systems to help manage users, especially for many of our customers who have hundreds of websites that they're trying to track and many different groups involved, that you can control all that and manage that better. And then we also need to have what I'm calling permissions, which is a little different, because this is more about how you're actually sharing reports and workspaces, which is a new concept that you guys will start to see more of in our system. I do believe that we need to be trustworthy. And I know that we are trustworthy, but I need to help governments and companies understand that ObservePoint is a trusted scanning tool. Right now, many of like the default settings in like an Akamai actually have us listed as a malicious scanning tool. And that's just because that's just, I think, how they somehow defaulted any scanner. But the reality is we only scan any website that we've even been paid by that company to scan it. Like there's no malicious intent ever going on with the ObservePoint scanner. And we want to make sure we build in even more controls to make sure, because like right now all of you contractually are only allowed to scan only properties that you own. That's according to your legal agreements. But I want to even implement a little bit more controls to make sure that we're always trusted. We're only scanning things that, that we have permission to be there. And then we want to continue to build a powerful reporting platform. I think this is where we need to make some big improvements. For example, and Dave Smith's going to walk through some of this today, if you have 100 audits and you wanted to understand all the cookies that were going across those 100 audits, that's a lot of reports you have to run right now, right? You needed to go into every audit and run that report, where we want to make sure that we are providing a powerful reporting platform so you're not having to always think, oh, let me have customer success help me, or let me pull this into a BI system and things like that. So I want to make sure that we're building a very powerful, flexible reporting platform. And then we also need to be integrating in with partners. So like, obviously, I would love to have more integrations into, analytics systems, other places where campaign systems, so we can be pulling URLs and automatically checking things for people. And then also for outflows of data, like if you need better data inputs into a Domo or Power BI or other systems that you want to be reporting out of. We need to be very flexible so that we adapt to your business requirements. And I think this is a common problem in a lot of software companies, where they'll build a very fixed solution and it works really great for you for that first year. But then as you grow as a business and your sophistication level goes up, it doesn't grow with you. And we need to make sure that we're always able to continue to grow with you. And normally that has to do with a little bit more customizations and things like that. Then this is a very broad thing, and I could just this part would, if anybody wants to have more fun and talk offline, like we're really making sure that the structure of how we collect data is done really well. And we've made a lot of changes to this over the last 4 years that I've basically been here as CEO, but we're going to continue to make sure that we can support anything that you could want from a data structure standpoint on processing data, modifying, and storing to make sure that we're doing a good job. And I realize a lot of what I've been saying, maybe some of you don't care to understand or know, but I am a product nerd, and everything that I've walked through is crucial to making sure that I support you guys in a very healthy way, and that we get you the things that you need in a very easy way without having to feel like, oh my gosh, we have to have all these meetings, or we need to have somebody write all these custom scripts for us, or we need to pull in all this thing. I'm trying to think through all those situations to make sure that we can be a very powerful partner for you. And I think one of the important things about that is that we want to make sure we have an ecosystem that helps you. So we have a lot of our partners here today. That's one way of making sure that we're supporting you guys. We want to continue to improve our self-service and our online documents. We want to make sure that our ObservePoint team is always there for you to answer any questions you have. And then we also want to keep building our community, so events like this where we have you all together and you guys can help each other. But we want to make sure that we have this ecosystem so that you guys are getting the service level that you really want out of us. It really is an honor for us to work with all of you. It's really fun. And I've loved working in software. I think a lot of you know that I don't necessarily have to work. I choose to work, and it's really fun building something that people love using and enjoy. And I want to, right now, if I was grading my own system, you know, we still have a ways to go, like to become that A+ that I want to be. So any feedback that you guys have, please give it to us. Also, I've allocated time today. If anybody wants to meet one-on-one with me today, I would love to do that. We're coordinating that through JD. So if you want to take 20 minutes, we can meet up in my office and talk about anything you want, even if it's just sharing fun ideas with me of how you think the systems could work better. I would love to hear any of that. So I appreciate you guys being here.